We are Phoenix Energy, and this is our story. My name is Ben Leeson. I'm the Director of Phoenix Energy based in Goondiwindi. We've been running the business for a bit over 3.5 years now, growing our capabilities and developing a very strong client base in the Goondiwindi regions and further afield for project works. Phoenix Energy kicked off with just the 3 directors, Ben Patterson, Angus McKillop and myself. We're now built to a team of 10, and that's soon to be 14 full-time staff in December with the inclusion of a couple of extra apprentices. Being a regionally based business, we've really got to cover off on quite a broad scope of works. Keeps things interesting for us, good variety of work, and across our client base that we work with, they've got a full range of works in the pipeline, between just their staffing with their housing and that sort of thing from a domestic point, their agri work, and then right through to some commercial builds as well, all within the same client base. On the back of that local work and that experience, we're also building our capabilities and our client base on a national scale. So we've now got licensing in Western Australia, Northern Territory and New South Wales, and obviously Queensland. Just recently got word that the American company we've partnered with over there has got another 2 digesters on the go for more energy production. So yeah, we're looking towards working on that into 2025 over there. At the moment, we've also got a greenfield piggery site down near Narrandera. So we're actually flying our plane in and out of there with staffing on a pretty tight roster. So that's a big part of that plane for us, was being able to keep that rotation going, not keep the guys too long out of town, and also just being able to get to site as needed, but also if any of our staffing or for whatever reason we have to get home, we're also able to get home as well. We do have a definite focus on developing teams, developing that culture. Just this morning we caught up for our monthly meeting, getting ideas flowing, make sure we're actually hearing the voices of our staff, which, we do a 6 monthly one-on-one interviews for catch-ups with the staff and make it a bit more formal. Like the ad hoc stuff is great, but when you actually sit down and give the staff a bit of time, a voice, and allow them to be heard, it really airs out, the good and the bad, the growth, all that sort of thing. So it really helps there. Without that staff group, without that right mix, without that right culture, Phoenix can't deliver what it is that we aim to do. For us, it was a challenge to get going. We didn't have a lot of experience within the group. I'm very much the grandfather of the group and I'm only 34 years old. So, it may have all looked good on the surface in terms of our delivery of our work and that sort of thing, because that was always our focus in developing our client base and everything. But behind the scenes, there was a lot of hard work done to get this thing off the ground. So, everyone would have their own story and their challenges in starting up small business. But yeah, for us, it was really just keeping up with that growth and that trajectory that we were on and continue to be on. So, and that was, that first 12 or 18 months. I definitely consider the inclusion of Nadia, our office manager, probably one of our biggest recruits. She very much walked through the door, threw a lot of what we'd done in the bin, which was fantastic, and took it on for herself, which was amazing. Obviously at the minute, we're absolutely run off our feet with work and riding that wave and having a great time with it, but just to identify the fact that those drier, slower times will come, and I'm sure a lot of people in the industry and within Goondiwindi abroad would know all too well those times. And that will obviously be a challenge that comes ahead for us into the future. We just identified that we are very reliant upon agri work in town and making sure that we're starting to fill our books with some more, contracts there that aren't going to be so much reliant upon those weather events, just to make sure that the phone always does keep ringing. COVID for us in Goondiwindi, it was definitely a concern for us, just trying to organise staffing and the permits, and you've got client base over in New South Wales that are reliant upon our services for the breakdowns, the call-outs, the continuing service of their business, that, they might start looking south, that maybe they will find other contractors from Moree or wherever further south. For those sort of challenges, they do pop up. You just got to see it through, adapt, and yeah, move on. Coming into 2025, we'll be signing off our 2 very first fully fledged apprentices that started with us from their day one. It's definitely something we take a huge amount of pride in, training those guys through, and we've got 3 more first year apprentices starting up in the next couple of months. So, it was a bit of a pinch yourself moment recently when we took out a small business award nationally for electrical large business. We're definitely now out of that stage, and we need to start looking ahead into the future. And the things that excite us within Phoenix for moving forward are definitely things like we've got a new workshop about to be built on Henderson Road. That for us is a huge one for our staffing, our future, works, being able to facilitate a larger team, the comfort of that team as well. Yeah, so that's definitely a big step for us in the next 6 months. Goondiwindi Dalby will always be our heartbeat. We've got our teams based there, HQ based there. We definitely have our eyes up to expand that, to have workshops based elsewhere, based on the fact that we've already got a leadership group of 3 owners. So that's definitely a growth aspect for us. But to develop our team locally, develop our capabilities locally, locally to then tackle future projects further afield. Making sure that we do have our eyes up and know that we are capable of tackling things outside to then, take on those bigger projects further afield and really, kick some goals out there with those ones.